This is your one-stop drop to Halloween Grave Raver, and today we'll be reviewing It 2017. So I want to start off and say that this is probably one of the best films I've ever seen. Of course, I did like the miniseries, but the miniseries one, of course, couldn't be that scary because it has to be put on TV. But this film really does. It's quite scary. As for the jump scares, there was a couple in the trailers. And although there are some scary images and between it all, I definitely recommend it to someone who isn't so fussed on watching a horror film, because I wasn't that sure, as it's like my first time watching a horror film in the cinema. So it's a bit unsure, but I definitely recommend it because it's scary. However, it's a mix of comedy. Like, the comedy element to the film was really good. Even some of the scarier bits were quite funny as well. And it just made a really good film. There was an element of like a sad story in there, a love story, and it's generally probably does the book better than the 1990 miniseries. And of course, the miniseries is a classic. It was an excellent performance by Tim Curry. But this, It 2017, may have to take it. So the first scene starts off with Bill and his brother Georgie, and Bill is ill, of course, and he's making Georgie a paper boat, and he goes out and he sails in it and all. And in this first scene, the amount of sort of Easter eggs relating to 80s movies, because of course Bill grows up to be a horror writer like Stephen King, and like we've got Beetlejuice posters and Gremlins, and just so many like nods to the 80s, like this Anthrax t-shirt, and that's something else they captured. But anyway, and then of course there's that iconic scene where Georgie, his boat goes in the drain, and of course that's where we first see Pennywise. And Bill Skarsgård really does a good performance of Pennywise. Of course, I have to say Tim Curry's my favourite, just because Tim Curry's one of the best horror actors really ever, especially with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But it is a really good performance. And just the way Pennywise is sort of like, the atmosphere he gives off is that he's so alien to everything, the way he talks, and it's just as if he doesn't know really what to say. He's just being programmed on what to say because he's not sure what to do. So of course Georgie then gets his arm ripped off by Pennywise, which he did in the first, but of course it didn't show much. With this one, film really goes full out on the gore. It doesn't really stop to think, because it's a child, they wouldn't show it, but it's quite a gory start. If not, probably one of the scariest bits in the movie. And then from there, then it sort of goes into a school theme, and of course the dialogue in which the kids, the Losers Club speak, is so accurate to how kids really talk. Because a lot of films, they all think like kids perhaps, but the way they did it was like proper school children, and it really nailed that sort of effect. And the film was just the truth. It didn't really care about anything, like, of course, like the gore towards children, and it was really good. So anyway, all these people start missing, and it just introduces pretty much each member of the Losers Club, and the appearance really, and most of the appearance is shown apart from a couple. But in the end, they also conquer the appearance's fear. And again, that's another thing to destroy, like Pennywise. So a couple of spoilers really. The film goes on and they sort of work out different ways on how to sort of stop this Pennywise the clown, this It character. And of course, it's just like the original, but the bullies in this are also portrayed a lot more gory. Where the others, it was just like sort of name calling. In this one, they cut one of the Losers Club members, and he actually kills his dad, and that's quite a gory scene. And it really nails like sort of what it's like being a kid and being scared and how to conquer it. Because Stephen King wrote some amazing books. However, as for the films, they haven't been the best sort of portrayal of the book. But this film, I definitely recommend. It was my first horror film in the cinema. I was sort of like a bit nervous at first, but I needed a toilet throughout the entire thing, and I didn't leave because I didn't want to miss it. It was really good. Of course, in the end, they have to conquer their fear, and Pennywise falls down a well before, he sort of falls to pieces and goes down this well, which is, of course, is at the end, chapter 1, it said, so we know this is going to be a chapter 2, because of course there wasn't a miniseries and the book, which captures the adults. Now the thing with the adults one I'm worrying about is that it might not be as good, since the kids one, well, the first chapter 1 was really funny at some parts. The way the kids spoke to each other, it was really good. So I'm not sure if they can recapture that in the second one, but I'll definitely be watching it. It's probably one of my favourite films of all time, and I really do like it. So I'm going to give this film 5 out of 5 volts, just because it was amazing. It really captured the book. I've actually read half of the book. Of course, it took out a few things from the book, because there were a few like weird things in that they didn't really want to include, which is understandable. Of course, Stephen King has addressed this in one of his sort of press conferences. So thanks for watching this video, and remember, this is your one-stop drop to Halloween Grave Raver.